Yo, what's up, you guys? Can anybody hear me? What's up, man? It's been a full day since I last came out online, so it feels good to be back. Um, I tried to schedule the live today at least 5 minutes before I started, just to kind of get like something going at least. um, but it was I know yesterday kind of sucked because I went live and a lot of people did not actually get notifications from YouTube, which sucks because usually when I go live, it actually tends to YouTube sends out notifications and stuff. So kind of sucks that yesterday. I mean, yesterday I was on for an hour. I think I was on for like an hour or so. So oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was on for an hour or so. Um, and I got a lot of people telling me like, "Hey, you didn't go live or whatever," and I'm like, "No, I was on for like 5 minutes. It was slow, and then I got on for like an hour and everything." So, just happy that it's not laggy. Happy that it's all running and stuff. GME and AMC thoughts. If you guys saw my last video, thank you by the way to Nando. Thanks, bro. Super chat. I don't know. I mean, I gotta get like some sort of sound for that, man. But thanks, man. Nando, thank you for that super chat, bro. Appreciate that always. Um, I do think that GME and AMC. Look, you guys already know that I have really bad luck with AMC. I don't want to get into AMC and all the losses that I've taken with AMC. GME's only been profit, right? The good thing is with GameStop, I've only really made money on GameStop. For whatever reason, whether or not GameStop and AMC, they run relatively the same, right? Um, and for whatever reason, I was always shorting AMC and being on either the dumb end on either side, whether it's rallying or not. Um, but if you saw, I mean, you can actually see my last TA, which I did last week, I think. Um, and I actually said that right now, GameStop does have a super strong possibility of running towards the upside. And this is exactly what I was waiting for. I was waiting for GameStop to close a bullish week. And that's what we just did this past week. That's all I was waiting for. All I was waiting for was GameStop to close a bullish week. As of right now, I gotta say that I am 100% bullish on GameStop. I think GameStop can run $169 to the upside. Um, Keep in mind that it still needs to fill this gap, right? There's a gap right here at like 290 bucks, I think. Where is it at? From 288 to 296. So it's not a small gap, right? This is a pretty big gap on the. Is this on the 4 hour? Why do I have it all the way back here? So gap is actually here. Let's see if it shows up on the daily. I'm trying to see this on the daily. Gap from here. 289. Yeah, this is a big. I don't know why I have it set up like this. This is a big gap. I had it set up like a weird price zone, which is kind of funky. It's set up. It's the gap starts like right here at like 290 ish, and it goes down to like so not a huge gap, but still a gap nonetheless. That has to get filled somewhere here on the 290 price range. And because we actually just closed on the weekly, we closed on the bullish side. Um, so here, I'll show you guys, right? The weekly, we closed bullish. Let me move this a little bit down. So this is what I wanted. We closed bullish. We actually crossed over from bear to bull last week, but this is the confirmation that I needed, right? This right here is the confirmation that I needed. The little red bubble to be created on my reverse MACD to actually even say that I'm gonna be bullish on GameStop, right? Because you guys know that as soon as we crossed down here, everything was looking horrible for GameStop. I thought GameStop had a really strong chance of going down to about like $100, right? And the only reason I said that is because there's a massive resistance and support zone from right here. So between $100 and 150, this section right here, there's no support, there's no resistance at all. it's all just one big gap from $100 to 149, 150. So if you actually went down here, if you actually broke these levels, which you didn't, right? You got really close back on the week of August 2nd. Remember, we got really close, but we actually just threw a wick down there. We didn't actually close a candle under here. We threw a wick. But if this actually ended up closing on the downside, you would have probably seen something like this. You would have probably gone to the downside, come back up, retested, and then you would have fallen all. You would have seen a massive, massive drop, especially with how the market was reacting. Right? There was a lot of really weird signs on GameStop, and there was definitely a time. When was this? August, in the beginning of August, when I was starting to turn really bearish on GameStop because um, it was down here, right? And every single chart was looking like it was going to keep running to the low side, and maybe possibly touch 103. But as of right now, GameStop, I think that GameStop has a possibility after officially closing that week bullish this past week. I think we can run $169 back up to $322. More than likely, you might see a push up to 290. At least that's what I think can happen. I'm not saying it will, but I think you can just run all the way up to maybe here, close that gap, possibly come back and retest this 283 and then run up. Or what can happen is you can probably trade to the upside, break here, probably go somewhere in the middle, and then run to the upside. So there's a lot of ways that you can get here, but I think ultimately we are now bullish in the direction of closing that gap for GameStop. Keep in mind though that if we do not on this week close on the bull side, if we do not head towards 290 to close that gap, the next time we go on a weekly downside, right? We actually close a weekly bearish candle for the reverse MACD, and the stock is still oversold. I think if we don't push these upcoming weeks, if we do not push, I can definitely see GameStop dropping down to $100, and I don't want that to happen. You guys know that I have a big position, but I have to be unbiased with my technical analysis, right? So if we do actually, if we do not see a push in like the next maybe 2-3 weeks to the upside on GameStop, I think there's a very, very, very strong chance that it's gonna dump to $100. And the same thing is gonna go with AMC. If GameStop does not move, AMC is not gonna move, right? So, I mean, you guys know that as soon as we hit up here at these highs, I was 100% bearish, and I'm like, you know what? We're gonna go back to $30. We're gonna go back to $30. We're gonna go back to $30. We did eventually go back to $30. It was my fault because I didn't actually. My puts that I bought for AMC weren't long enough. I think I only bought like 2-week out puts, right? So as soon as we hit the highs, I bought 2-week out puts. So my options expired somewhere here. I should have bought like 2-month out puts, and I would have been in the money, obviously, because I told you guys. I think AMC is going back down to $30. What happened? Went back to $30. But again, what's happening here? AMC actually hasn't closed a bull week yet, right? It's getting there. It's definitely getting there. But I think AMC is actually going to close a bull week this upcoming. Why isn't this moving? Can I not move this? There we go. So keep in mind that it hasn't closed a bull week yet. Actually, I'll delete this because this doesn't look clear enough for me. But it hasn't closed the bull week, right? It's still weak in bull. It's still weak in bearish. That's exactly it. And you know, the stochastic looks like it's sort of kind of wanting to cross on the overside. But if you look closely, you still have that MA, that red MA, on top of the blue MA, right? So essentially, is what you have right now. You have the fast and slow length MAs running around the same time. The reason I run equal MAs or a little bit of a difference is because I need to know exactly when we're actually seeing those pushes. So if you want to use a Stoke, I run it on 13, 3, and 3 for the settings, right? Normally it's like 17. It's a weird number. I don't like it's a random number. Not sure why it's set up like that. I like it to be more precise, and I found that using the settings on the stochastic as 1333 is going to definitely benefit you more, especially when you're trading on higher time frames, which is what I tend to do, right? I don't really care too much about the 4 hour and under, My main charts are the daily, weekly, and monthly, which is where you start really seeing big pushes and reversals, to the upside. The reason I like AMC is because you can definitely see a really nice multiple. Last time it ran up, it went from what did it go from? It went from $10, under $10 to $63. So you did an easy 6.5x the last time it ran up. It ran up. I'm not saying it's gonna do it again, but there's no other thing that you can base this off of, right? There's no other historical performance that you can rate that you can base this rally on. Like there's nothing else that can actually happen. So because right now, um, AMC has nothing to compare. As soon as we do, I do think that the bottom is created at $30, and if it runs up another like $63, I'd say that has a strong chance of doing this. Look, what is it? 63.17, like right here, whatever. That's fine. In 22 days. So let's go with that. That seems simple enough. The only thing that I can think of right now is using fibs to determine what the next price might be. I wouldn't use the all-time high fibs. I want to see what would actually happen if we use a second tier down. So I'd go like, let me see, from right here to right here, possibly, and it's pretty close. I mean, it's pretty close to that 1.618 fib, right? It's that golden fib level. If I go to actual lows, it goes higher, but we need to look at the recent retracement, right? We need to follow what's actually running on AMC. So I don't want to use this wick high just because, you know what, let me use a wick high and see if that changes anything to determine where the fibs can actually be. So to highs to lows. Yeah, I think it's too far out. I think using that wick is too far out for the fibs. I think actually using a relative high would make more sense, which would be from here to these lows of 852, like 850, and you get you generally get a pretty close what is it called? A pretty close price to that next fib level, right? Which is why I would deem this a little bit more accurate. So if GameStop rallies again, and if AMC actually rallies again once this bullish trigger hits, I think the next time this happens, and I don't like AMC, right? And I told you guys that I think AMC is crazy. I don't believe in the MOAS for AMC. It's not, I don't think there's enough research involved and an actual DD for me to support AMC, right? As opposed to what I think can happen with GameStop. I'm not saying it will, but I'm just saying there's a bigger probability that it'll happen with GameStop than AMC. But again, I think the next time that you push up to the upside, there's a solid chance that I think AMC will go to $95, $100 if it sees a similar run to what happened. Again, it's not going to do a 6x. I really doubt that it'll do a percentage wise of like 650% to the upside. I strongly doubt that it's going to do that, right? Because then if you do that, you're going to see a price of what? 6 times 3, like 100 and a little bit under $200. I really doubt that it's going to do that. I think a more reasonable forecast and assumption is that it's going to have a rally similar to what it did from 10 to 63, and it's going to move similar to that price action from before. So I would have an easier time believing that it's going to move $63 up to the upside instead of a 6x or 650% up. But yeah, I think AMC, if it does start pushing again with GameStop, I think there's a strong chance that it's going to keep running to what's it called, to like $100. Honestly, I think it's going to go like 95, $100. Oof, spent a lot of time on AMC and GameStop, man. Man, a lot of people here, bro. Crazy Kodak, yo, thank you, man. Crazy Kodak, $5. Thanks, man. I didn't realize you were getting so many super chats, bro. Thank you. I suck with fibs. I'm dying to know where to put them and how to play them. If you have time, can you show quickly how you choose where to put fibs? Yeah. What's a chart that I can use? Something that actually has pretty clear. What is wrong with my internet? Why is it so slow? Do I have anything set up on Microsoft? No, I think we're good on Microsoft. Let's do this. So, let me explain fibs to you guys. I hope this helps you guys understand fibs a little bit better, and how to place them, right? Or how I place them. Your fib setup should be from relative highs to relative lows. And what I mean by that, I know me saying that doesn't mean that people understand what it is. Relative highs and relative lows are essentially what the most recent high is on a mountain peak and what the most recent low is of that previous rally to the upside. So the easiest way that I can explain this is, where is my drawing tool? I think it's here, right? Yeah, here. So I'll give you guys an example, right? You have price consolidating a little bit, and then it jumps up, it creates a mountain peak, comes back down, right? And then it might keep going, it comes back up, hits another peak, and then kind of keeps going, and then goes up, hits another peak, etc., etc., etc. Right? That's generally how price tends to move. You know, you have lower lows, you know, lower high, higher high, etc., etc., etc. Right? You can see that pattern here. You can see that pattern play out on the weekly on Microsoft right here, right? We can assume that this pattern is relatively similar to this pattern, right? So I'll show you guys where you guys would actually put your fibs. So relative high doesn't mean where the price is currently. It is so I'll give you guys an example chart to chart, right? So Microsoft is right here, and this is obviously what I drew, right? So this right here is where the price is currently. You do not want to draw it on the most recent price because there is no retracement, right? There is no mountain peak. You don't have anything going like this basically. There's nothing that lets you know this can possibly like completely shoot up to the upside. It's never a good idea. You shouldn't even use it on this, right? It needs to have some sort of retracement for you to actually indicate this peak right here as an actual relative high. So it's the easiest way that I can explain it is just the most recent high that's not on the current rally. So this right here would consider the current rally, right? This is the current price right here. We can assume the same thing. So you would get the fibs and you would get your relative high, which is point. This is the first point, right? And then you would get your relative low. Your relative low would not be back here. It would be the most recent retracement or the most recent rally that I had from before this one. So peak would be right here. See if I can make this even easier. Where is so here? So peak would be right here. This little top right here, and your relative low would be on the most recent like rally or consolidation that you had, right? So you have your rally right here, and then you have your consolidation period right there, or you're generally your low. So this would be it right here, right? We can match that up the same way that we have right here on the chart. So this section right here, this first part right here, this actual price, this continuation rally, we have no idea where this is going. We have no idea if this is an actual top. Like we don't know, right? We don't know if this is an actual top because this is the current price. This little rally right here is the current price. So we have no idea. What we're doing right now is essentially matching, right? So this right here would equal this whole section right here. This high right here would equal your first relative high. And this low, see this rally, consolidation, rally, and then retracement. Consolidation, this is basically consolidation, rally, retracement. This is your rally, consolidation a little bit, keep on rallying, and then high, retracement, right? So you're really looking for obvious peaks, right? So you can consider this a peak right there. Whoops, don't need to do that. You can consider this a peak there, and you can consider this a peak right there. So that's how you would essentially, look at your peaks or where to actually put your relative highs. I would have only used these peaks right here to determine relative high. And your relative low would be this section right here, or where price is actually consolidating, this little area right there. So I hope that explains it a little bit. I'm gonna keep going on this just to give it even an easier explanation. But like I said, you're not using it here because there is no obvious peak, right? You want to know where there is an obvious peak, and you're looking for the very first mountain peak that's not current price, that's not in a rally, or that's not like anything on the current side of what's happening in the market. So you're looking for the most recent peak, which is right here. You're getting your fib, and you're placing it. So there's two ways to actually use a fib, right? There's forecasting and then there's retracements. So if you want to forecast something, imagine that there's nothing from here to the right side, right? From this little candle to the right, there's nothing. So you would put your high is right there. Your relative low would be this little yellow candle on March 1st. This one right here, right? I don't like putting it here because it makes it funky and it makes it hard for me to read. So I actually set it to the right. And keep in mind where the little white line, the horizontal line in the middle of the screen is. I'm putting it on the wick, right? Look at the wick. I'm putting it right there. I'm putting it at the bottom of the wick. I'm not putting it where the candle closes, right there. So candle closes right here. I'm not putting it where the candle closes. You're putting it at the wick. You actually want the lowest point of your previous consolidation period or the previous rally, if there is one, right? So I'm setting it right there. And what happened with the fibs, right? So this is essentially the very first part that I use for my breakout strategy. On Microsoft, you can see this perfect. You can see this playing out perfectly, right? Consolidated, rally, retracement, and then you actually have that crossover here. You have an actual weekly close to the upside, and then it pushes up to the 1 fib, right? This is how you would use it as determining like a forecast of where you think price can actually go. If you're actually using on the other way, which is you think the market is going to retrace, then you would use it, for example, on the from low to high instead of high to low, because we were doing high to low, and now we're doing low to high, right? So if you actually see like the starting retracement, so let's say this candle's created, you would go from low, and you would put it to the high right there, because there's already a candle that wicked down, and you're thinking right now to yourself like, hey, you know what? I think market is gonna keep going down a little bit, but ultimately I'm bullish, so I want to know where I can actually get in. And on Microsoft, it's actually a perfect example, because if you set the relative low to relative high, it perfectly went back and retested the 0.618 level. Generally, in the Fibonacci sequence, your most important fibs are the 0.5 and 0.618 levels. I don't really look at anything else. I don't look at the 0.236, 0.38, 0.786. I don't really care about those levels at all. They're not. It's not. For example, I'd rather be in Apple than Microsoft and like Tesla than like Neo or some other random company, right? You're really only looking at the golden tickets, right? You're looking at the most golden numbers, which are the 0.5 and the 0.618. That's it. That's all I look at. I don't care about anything else, because I don't feel like I need to waste my time on stuff that might hit 50, 60, 70% of the time. Whereas if you're looking specifically at the 0.5 fib or the 0.618, there's like an 80% chance of it hitting that and then pushing up to the upside again, right? So whenever I'm actually looking at retracement, like a retracement up to actually buy into a certain ticker, I only look at the 0.5 and the 0.618. And if you guys want to write this down somewhere, then fantastic. But again, when you're using fibs on a retracement to look for a buy-in, you're only looking for 0.5 and 0.618. You should not care about anything else, because everything else is second and third place. You only care about first place, and that's the 0.5 and 618 on the retracement. But again, for the fibs, it's generally pretty easy after a while. Once you get experience and once you start doing this a lot, it's a lot easier to tell. So we can use another example like Apple. We'll go with Apple. Let's see if we can find anything clear. You know what? Actually, let's do something where I don't have anything set up on. What's something random that you can think of? What's a random company? Newegg? Do I have anything set up on Newegg? Yeah, so Newegg, that's cool right there. We don't need a bunch of crap on there. I don't have anything set up here. So again, right. So immediately your relative low and relative high, I already know where they are, right? Your relative low and relative high are not going to be here. You have your high up here and you have a low down here, right? But your relative low and relative high are the most recent points and the most lowest points from recent history in the price, which are actually going to be This one right here, you see this point right here? That's the most recent high that you guys have right there. Most recent high. Most recent low would be like down here somewhere. So keep in mind, if Newegg were to actually break to the upside, I would be using these points right here as in like a tell-all of where I think price is going. Like that, right? Right now, it doesn't seem like Newegg is actually running to the upside. So what would I do? The complete opposite, which is an actual retracement level, which would be from relative low to relative high, which again is that point right there, right? So if I thought that Newegg was going to the upside, I'd be like, you know what? I think Newegg is going to go up. Once it actually comes down, I'm going to buy at the 0.618 level. So I'll buy there. Guess what? It didn't hit, kept going all the way down to that negative 1 fib, or the 1 fib on the low side. Again, if it actually breaks this, there's a very strong chance that once it breaks this to the low side, it'll come like right here somewhere, probably run up, retest, and then come all the way back down to that actual 1.618 fib. That's generally how price works. It's not going to be 100% accurate every single time, but you're going to get a pretty accurate indication or a pretty accurate forecast of where price is moving to. You can have maybe like a couple points to the upside, a couple points to the low side, but for the most part, this is generally where the area is actually going to end up on. So again, the fibs aren't really hard to use. It's more about just, having a lot of time and what is it called? Having a lot of time and experience using it. But I wouldn't really say experience. I'd say it's more about time in the charts. Go on TradingView, set up a random chart, and then just go and actually start using the fibs. Look for mountain peaks, look for retracements, see if they actually hit the certain levels, right? And there's an even more advanced feature of fibs that I use when I trade divergence. And that's a little bit more complicated. That's how I trade on the Forex market. And that is something that I still need to work on, because I was going to release for you guys is how to trade divergence, which is more of a short-term way of trading, right? So that's something that I would trade on the hour, 4 hour, lower than that time frames. I like to swing trade a little bit. What's it called? But Tony, you should open the chat on your phone. Oh, you know what? Actually, you're right. I should probably open the chat on my phone. That makes a lot. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Am I not? Okay, I am on. Hello. Does it come out? Oh, not okay. Cool, awesome. I'll use the chat on my phone to like respond to you guys instead of going back to the YouTube to that page and stuff. So good idea. Thank you for that. Thank you for suggesting that. Was it Wesley? Wesley, yeah, Wesley. Thanks, bro. I'll do that. I'll do that from now on. I will look at I'll use my phone to actually to look at the chat, which is actually a great idea. So thank you for that. But yeah, essentially, I recommend going to the chart. If you guys have time, take an hour of your day, look at an empty chart, and then just start throwing fibs on there and see how it actually works out, right? But again, I hope that gives you guys a little bit of a nice explanation of how to use the fibs. From my experience, they tend to be pretty accurate. But again, I only look at the 0.5 and the 0.618. I don't care about anything else, just because, why focus on second and third place when you're always doing first place, right? Again, it's not going to be accurate every single time, but it's going to be more accurate than every other Fibonacci level. So it doesn't make sense to use anything else, honestly. Marcos, what's your way of finding key levels of stocks? For the super chat. Thanks, Marcos. $5, man. Thank you, bro. I know Marcos is here a lot, man. I know Marcos is here a lot. I'll do that EOS TA right now for you guys. For you, Marcos, right now. What's your way of finding key levels of stocks? Tesla and Google, for example. What can pre-market lows and highs tell you about a stock direction? So, in my time of like pre-market and aftermarket don't really mean much, to be honest. I think for the most part, pre-market and aftermarket they only truly matter if you're trading earnings, right? Apart from earnings, it doesn't really matter too much. The only time that it actually really mattered was back in, back like in February to 2020 when the SPY was, barely getting hit by COVID and stuff. So in pre-market, right? Let's go a little bit deeper on the daily so I can show you guys what was going on. So I was looking at all this stuff live when we were dropping so much on, when we had the three limits, the three limiters on the downside, um, which is super insane for the SPY to happen, right? It was super crazy to wake up at like 6 in the morning, and guess what? The SPY goes from like 331 down to like down to like $300 in like pre-market. So when you have certain events like that, that's when pre-market and after hours matters, or generally in earnings. Apart from that, I don't really look at aftermarket or pre-market too much. It doesn't really give you a good sentiment on direction. I would have to do a little bit more analysis on that, but just from experience and what I've noticed is that, pre-market and after hours, they don't really matter on a general trading day unless like one, you have like you have something crazy happen, like, obviously with like COVID, where SPY was dropping and every single stock was dropping pre-market and after hours. Um, or if there's news, like some random news after hours or pre-market, because news for companies, generally, good or bad, tend to actually happen, after market usually. Um, just so, and they usually release it after hours because they don't want people FOMOing in, and like, if it's bad news, they don't want like a full sell of all their stocks. They want people to like think about it and be, oh, you know what, maybe it's not such bad news, and think about it overnight and then make their decision in the morning. Um, and then, yeah, it would really just be news for earnings or for maybe like some black swan event. Other than that, I really don't see, pre-market or after hours really affecting the market all that much. Again, that's just kind of me looking at prices from my experience. I could be completely wrong, but just from what I've seen, it doesn't matter all that much, honestly. Oh, and gaps are usually tend to be created after hours or pre-market. 99% of the time, gaps come from after hours or pre-market when there's huge jumps in buys or sells. Um, but you asked about key levels, right? What's your way of finding key levels of stocks? So I'll use again. Let me see if I can find something that I can buy. IWM. Let's go with IWM. Something that has kind of a solid chart. Also, this is pretty okay right there. So okay, so I'm basically teaching you guys support and resistance right now, right? Um, okay, so the most accurate support and resistance that I found is being on the weekly chart. Because if you're on the daily, your chart starts getting extremely like corrupted and colluded, right? You start putting support and resistance in locations where you don't need to, like you put it here, 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 here. You don't need all that. You don't need a bunch of support, a bunch of resistance, all that stuff. You really only need major points, right? So for IWM, for example, I place my support and resistance based off of wicks, wherever the most wicks are touching. So right now, price is at 215. I would honestly only look for price and resistance like around this level, right? I wouldn't even waste my time on anything back here unless it's like a gap, right? So I really only look at the current trading range where it actually is, or not the current trading range, the current price range, right? So keep in mind, nothing in the market happens by accident. So let's say if there's an actual, this trading range is here, but let's say a year back, let's say you go like a year back, right? And there's price here in that same price range, right? So regardless if it's a year, regardless if it's 5 years, if it's around the same trading price range, it 100% counts. And I think I've already shown you guys in previous videos how if you can set up, if for example there's a stock that's at $100, it crashed down to 50, and then 5 years later it's back at $100, I can 100% guarantee you if that new stock runs back to $100, it's going to be hitting the same support and resistance where it was 5 years ago when it was initially $100. I've seen that 100% of the time. I've never seen a stock that doesn't match up to the previous support and resistance, right? So keep that in mind. That's a story for like a complete. There's so many things that I can talk about, but I'll show you guys how I do support and resistance, right? And I generally only use the wicks, the most wick touches that I can possibly see. So right here, the wicks are these little skinny lines on top of the candle, right? So you can see a wick right here, wick, 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 and then a little tiny wick down here, right? So what I do is, let me see if I can zoom in to make it a little bit easier, because the good thing is that IWM doesn't have a huge trading range. Whoops, I did not need to add that right now. The good thing is that IWM doesn't have a huge trading range, so I can really zoom in here and show you guys a really good example. So look at these wicks, right? Wick, wick 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ideally, what I would want to do is I would want to start from the top. You guys see how there's a dashed horizontal line going from left to right, and then one from the top, right? This one right here, and then left to right. You would focus on the horizontal line, go all the way down, and guess what? You're hitting wick one, number 2. Well, you're hitting wick number 1, wick number 2. How much lower can we go? Can we go a little bit lower? Right there. You're getting 3 wicks. You're getting wick one, number 1, wick number 2, and you want to set it at wick number 3 right here without going into the actual candle itself. You can't set it like right here anywhere. You have to go all the way down, and you can go probably a little bit lower and set it right there. And why am I setting it right there? It's touching wick number 1, touching wick number 2, and it's touching wick number 3. So make it easier. It's touching wick number 1, wick number 2, right there, and then the very, very, very top of wick number 3, right? And I only set up my support and resistance when I can see at least 3 wicks touching each other. I wouldn't want to do it on 2. Usually not 2, it's usually 3 plus. So at least wick 1, wick 2, wick 3. My next one would be right the same process. I would go where that red line is, keep going all the way down until I hit at least 3 wicks. What happens? Wick 1, wick 2, and the very top of wick 3 is right here. I would do the same process. Go all the way down. You're hitting the highest wick, wick 1, wick 2 right here, and then keep going. Wick 3, right there. And you actually have a tiny little wick that's almost hitting right here. So you have 1 wick, 2, 3 with this one, 4 right here. And again, you're looking for those standouts, right? So I would probably go to this wick right here, and I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at how many that goes, right? I would basically go from here and go up to the most wicks that I can possibly hit right there, right? So I'd probably set it right here, because look, it's touching wick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost this one, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. It's touching 13 wicks right there. 13 wicks. You're touching 13 wicks right there. The next one that I'd set up is probably this one right here, this wick. So you have wick 1, 2, wick 3, wick 4, 5. And I wouldn't really count these other ones because you have wicks touching down here, but I would probably set it at the high right there. Let me see, wick, right. That would be another wick. Can I go lower? No, I'd have to be like right there. So I'd probably set my second support and resistance, well, my next resistance right there. And again, on the low side, we are touching 1, 2, 3. That's already 3 wicks. So wick 1 right here, wick 2, wick 3. Boom, right on the bottom end. And there's another wick right there. So again, it's really just about using the most wicks. And again, you have all these wicks shooting down to possibly like the 216 level. So again, wick, 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 wick right here. These 2 wicks right here. So I'd go up on the line. I'd put it to where I can touch the most wicks without really passing over a lot. I'd probably set it right there. There's probably another one like right here that I can use. I'd set this one like right there, probably right there. So again, you're looking to see which of the wicks actually get touched the most. And I try not to reuse wicks. And I hope this was a clear example because this chart, or at least this trading range, is pretty clear on that on IWM of where it actually where price actually moves and what range it likes trading on this specific chart. But again, it's really just on the wick side. It's really just on wicks. It really just depends on how many wicks actually touch each other. Blue core 0.618 has like a 99% chance of hitting for my limited testing. I find 0.5 has like a 20% chance of hitting. So yeah, 0.618 is the golden level. I do tend to like 0.5 also, just because depending on if you're bullish or not, it tends to actually sometimes it'll actually close, let's say, a candle on the 0.5 on the fib, and it'll throw a wick down at 0.618, but it won't actually hit that 0.618 level. It'll maybe do a little bit higher than that. So if you're looking for an actual, like a perfect like sniper entry, then you would do the 0.618, but it wouldn't actually work out as much as you think, because sometimes candles tend to close and only throw a wick at the 0.618 level. It won't actually, it won't hit as much as you think it will, but it'll throw a wick down there. So it would be insanely close a lot of the time. So you're not wrong. It's definitely 90%, 90+% chance of the time that that the 0.618 fib is going to hit. But keep in mind that the 0.5 has an even better chance of actually hitting if you're bullish or you're bearish, whatever, depending on the direction. I love saying 100% a lot. I'm kind of, yeah. I mean, it really depends on what I'm doing. But I know my vocabulary is a little limited on how I say certain things, and I'm not, I'm definitely not, what is it called? I definitely know. I, I know that I like saying that a lot and stuff. But yeah, I hope that explains support and resistance a little bit better. I know Marcos, you asked about that, so I hope that kind of explained things a little bit better, at least for support and resistance for you. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess we can start doing TA, because I haven't really done any TA for anybody as opposed to just talking about fibs and support and resistance, which I do hope that helps you guys out. Again, you guys can ask me questions and I'll try to respond as if I can. But I really hope I really hope that all that stuff helps you guys out. I'll start with Blue Core. I know he asked about Macy's already, so let me actually do that one first, and then we'll move forward after that. I guess I already have it set up. What is it looking like? Macy's for the, oh yeah, 100%, yeah. Yeah, it looks great. Macy's looks good for 100%. Yeah, man. Yeah, Macy's looks great. I guess I already had it set up. Um, what is it called? I already had it set up. I would bought back here. You're not too far off. I mean, I would guess that it's probably gonna be something like this on the take profits. So take profit 1, 2, 3. You're possibly looking at what, 25, 26, and 27 for take profits, or 28. Again, this is just a quick forecast. 5%. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty right. That was pretty close. Um, what's your upside though? What's your upside on Macy's if you're buying right now? 12%. Oh, actually, yeah, that's actually really good. You still have at least a 10% run on the upside. So yeah, I think Macy's is great. Macy's is a great play to keep running. The weekly is bullish. The monthly, a little scared. Yeah, the monthly, August is bullish on the monthly. The weekly is bullish. The daily's bullish. Yeah, I see absolutely no reason why Macy's would not be a perfect play for the breakout strategy. I think Macy's is great. Macy's looks wonderful for that. Macy's looks awesome, man. So Blue Core helped you out. Yeah, Macy's looks real good. Nvidia and Apple. Yeah, Nvidia and Apple. I think I don't even need to do. Abdu. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, man. Abdu Megwader. Megwader. Um, I don't need to do TA on Nvidia, Apple. It's up, bro. Nvidia and Apple are just, they're the top of their game. Doing TA on Nvidia and Apple is like me trying to tell Microsoft, hey, I know about computers. Like, no, they know about computers a lot more than I do, right? Um, Nvidia and Apple are just always gonna be, they're just always gonna be up. Especially, I love Nvidia, so I think Nvidia is one of the biggest, most amazing companies in the world as far as AI, and I think they're leading the race in AI. Even though Tesla and Elon Musk just revealed that robot thing, I think Nvidia is one of the biggest players in AI in the world, if not the biggest right now, apart from like Google probably or Tesla. But I think Nvidia is definitely in the top three. So, um, they're a chip maker, all that good stuff, whatever. But I like them strictly because they're focusing a lot of their a lot of their market and a lot of their structure around AI. And I think AI is just a solid company. I mean, look at what they've done, right? I mean, look at their chart. They started at like under $5 and they're at 200. I mean, this is after that split, right? But yeah, I mean, it's just bullish. I don't know what to tell you. I think it's gonna turn bullish again. I think right now, if you're looking to buy Nvidia, I think right now is the perfect time. I think Nvidia is probably gonna go to 240, maybe in the next month. There's no reason for me. I mean, the only reason I don't like doing TA on Nvidia or Apple or Microsoft or Costco or whatever is because the general direction for those companies is up. Amazon, it's all growth. It's all growth towards the upside. You got to think about it this way: they either grow or they die. That's it. They either keep making money, they keep innovating, they keep going, they keep running, or they just the company's not gonna do what it's doing. So generally, I always say that if you're gonna, they're more of a long-term play. So I'd say Nvidia, Google, basically the FANG companies, Costco, Walmart, Waste Management, Target, Pepsi, Coke. Those are all just a place where you put like you can invest $100 every week and not even look at your portfolio once. Um, but if somebody ever, somebody wants to do like a TA for Apple, Nvidia, I find that 99% of the time their direction is just up. Like their direction is just towards the upside. If you wanted to talk about something like the SPY, for example, I think the SPY has like a very strong chance that it'll probably end the month on a bear trigger, and we'll see a pretty big correction to like $30 to the downside, possibly even down to like $400, which is where we still have a gap. But again, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Pepsi, Coke, Walmart, Target, Waste Management, Dollar General, AutoZone, O'Reilly's. I can go on and on, right? These are all stocks that you buy and you don't even think about doing TA, unless you're trading options and stuff. Um, the easiest way that you can probably, you know, I've already told you guys the easiest way to make money is buying calls a month or two on SPY out, like $5 to the upside. This strategy by itself has been working for the last 10 years, apart from the 1 month or two where COVID happened. If all you did for the last 10 years, and I can guarantee you that it'll work for the future 10 years of the US, is if all you do is buy SPY calls, maybe a dollar or two, um, you know, above what the current price is for like a month or two out, you're gonna make money, right? You're gonna make money. And it's one of those things that it's not exciting, it's not like all this other stuff, but it's consistent, right? You have like there's like an 80-90% chance that you'll make money every time. But people don't like that. People don't like making money like slowly, right? And that's a thing. That's a big problem that I see with traders is that, oh no, I want to make 2,000%. I want to make 3,000%. I'm like that's cool, but sorry, I think I'm talking for too long. Thank you, Nando, for the super chat. Super appreciate them, and I hope I answered your question um, about GME and AMC and stuff. But yeah, Nvidia, Apple, it's generally up, man. It's for the most part, it's really just to the upside. Let me see. Marcos, I was looking at UNH for the breakout strategy. The only reason I didn't buy was because I didn't see the MACD EMAs crossing bullish yet. I've come to be very picky now on entering without confirmation. That's exactly what you should be doing every single time. You should not be going into trades unless you have confirmation on everything, right? This is why I'm picky on a lot of my stuff. I don't go into a trade because it looks like it might do this. No, I go into a trade knowing what it's going to do, or knowing that I'm going to be maybe like 90% right, right? Like you have to have confirmation. Um, and that's the thing. That's one of the crappy things, is that you don't trade as much, but you're when you do, it ends up being, you end up having a higher, well, it really just depends, right? But don't get into something where you don't think, where it's not gonna, where you don't have confirmation that it's gonna keep running to the upside or other stuff, right? You have to make sure that you can't just get it. You can't, because then you're just gambling at that point. You're just gambling and throwing money at stuff if you're not, confirming anything. Um, I like to be a little bit more picky on stuff, just because it just, instead of me thinking about things too much, um, what is it called? Instead of me thinking about things too much, it's just me knowing what's gonna happen, or me at least having a high confidence of what's gonna happen. Let's look at Wing and Tilray, because Tilray and Wing are absolutely killing me right now. I actually bought Wing. I actually bought options on Wing back here. I bought calls on August 2nd or July. I don't remember. I think my mistake, again, you only lose money when you don't confirm things, right? So I think I bought Wing options like on a Thursday, back here on July 26th, the week of July 26th, because the candle was actually up here. It was actually like right there. And my error was not buying this on Friday before close, which is when you should only be looking at the breakout strategy. Because guess what? If you buy Wing, look at the wick, right? Look how it wicked all the way up here. If you buy Wing up here on a Wednesday, by Friday it can actually go all the way back down, like what happened to me here. Um, and I should have taken it the next week, right? I should have taken it the week of August 2nd, that first week of August. So my fault was taking it back here on a Wednesday or Thursday, and then the price dumped all the way down, which means that confirmation is no longer viable, because guess what? You shouldn't have taken. But guess what? Even though I would have taken it here, I would have still been down under, right? So Wing actually trailed down because it had a perfect weak trigger right here, perfect weak trigger on the bear side right there. So it has been trailing down ever since. Unfortunately, I do think Wing is going to keep going down. I do have, I think, 3 calls on Wing right now. More than likely, this is going to be a loss on this. Oh, wait, actually, you know what? Never mind. The daily looks like it might run to the upside. Maybe. So the daily looks like it might actually keep running to the upside. But again, the monthly is still kind of bullish. It looks like it's getting a weakened bull on the month. The week has officially closed 2 bear weeks now, but the daily looks like it might run. So if you're holding Wing like myself, I'm gonna wait to see what happens this week. At any given point in time, if Wing actually shoots up back to like 177 on this day bullish close, I will be closing out of all my Wing positions, because I do not want to lose money. What is the point of the breakout strategy? Is at minimum you either break even or you make profit, right? That is the key, because I consider it a win as long as you either make money or you break even. If you lose, that is 100% not what we're trying to do, right? So at minimum, I am trying to wait and see after this bullish closes on the upside. I want to see how Wing does, because right now it has a strong chance, just because it closed, it might actually run back to these levels, possibly dump, right? So I want to see how it actually trades, how big of a push it has. If it hits 177, I'm gonna be completely out of my Wing calls, and hopefully I can make a little bit of profit. If not, break even, which I would still consider a win. Damn, when was the last time I looked at Tilray? I guess I was right. I guess I was right on Tilray. I mean, I have it here. At least it went up. I mean, it did go back to $13. I guess the last time I looked at this was the early July. So I'm still holding a position in Tilray, which sucks because I am currently down in this. Um, yeah, it's not looking good. Tilray's not looking good. I actually thought we were gonna run to the upside on Tilray, but even on the monthly closed its first bear back in May. Back on May 3rd, it closed its bear month, and that was my mistake. I think my mistake was because I got in July. Obviously, if I have this set up, I probably got in July. I actually don't remember when I got into July into Tilray, but what is it called? Yeah, it looks like for me, which is pretty crappy because I have it perfectly set up here on Tilray where I think it's gonna go, and then lo and behold, it does exactly what I planned, and I'm holding a bunch of Tilray um, Tilray shares. So, man, I gotta not do stuff without looking at my charts first because I can't believe that I have it set up right here that it's gonna go back down to $13, and I'm holding like I think like 300 shares of Tilray, like 5 grand or something. I don't know how much I have in Tilray, but it's a lot. It's a couple grand that I have sitting in Tilray. But as of right now, it's not looking good, man. I'm telling you guys right now. The monthly looks bearish. The weekly looks like it's getting kind of weak. Um, I think Tilray is going down to like $12.14. Unfortunately, I don't want it to go down that low because I have a big position. I have a couple grand in Tilray. I don't want it to hit that low. But that's what I think. I think Tilray is going down. I think Tilray, after breaking on the low right here on this candle on July 27th and hitting 12 what? What was the low? 1254, and then it hit 1255. It closed, so it's on that range. But if I had to take a quick guess, I'd say that Tilray is gonna touch $12.14, 12 cents, whatever. I think there's a strong chance that it keeps going down. Unfortunately, and it hurts me to say that because I have a big position and I don't want to sell anything, but I mean, I don't want to take a loss. And I probably won't sell because I'm just going to wait it out until it actually maybe recovers. But the next stop for Tilray would probably be $10.50. It breaks to the low side right here.
Hello.
Oh, hi, how you doing?
You down here?
Oh, yeah, you can just leave it down there. Thank you.
What's going on next door?
Next door? Is there a party?
Police outside.
I'm sorry?
A bunch of police outside.
Oh, police! Holy crap! I no idea, man. I've been in here for like the last hour, so I have like no idea what's going on.
Alright.
Thanks for telling us, though.
Right.
Yeah. Is it outside our house?
Like right next door.
Next door. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll have to check it out right now. Just got my Instacart order. That's who that was. It was somebody from Instacart that came and dropped off my wife and I's groceries. Can I look at UNH? Yeah, I'll look at UNH. I guess we got like cops outside. Well, not our house, but the house next door. I think the neighbors have like cops outside or something. I was like, what? Yeah, but he asked me. He was like, yo, why? He's like, you guys got cops outside. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh yeah, next door. There's like cops outside. Oh really? Oh wow, I have no idea. Yeah, so I guess there's like cops next door, but it's so weird. I'm getting killed on both too, but I will learn from Wing for sure. Yeah, yeah, I'm getting killed on for both Wing and Tilray right now, which absolutely sucks because I think I actually I averaged down on the Wing options, and I'm not losing that much. I think I'm only down like $100 because I averaged down. So if it runs up a little bit, more than likely I will be out of Wing. I will be out of Wing. Most likely either break even or a little bit of profit. I think sometime this week. But yeah, I think I'm more than likely going to close wing um, this week if we actually do rally towards the upside. That's what I want to do. I want to close it out because I do not want to be holding it for too long. UNH. I mean, UNH looks pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, I don't need too much because it's generally just kind of moving towards the upside. So again, just a quick example of how to use the fibs. Relative high right here, you wouldn't use your relative high because this high is higher than these, right? So you would use relative high, and you would use a relative low back at the end of this bull push, which is kind of sort of like the retracement, right? You would use this little wick down here. So you would set it up right there, right? If I was forecasting where I think UNH is going to go, because it actually closed a little bit above the 1 fib, I think it's going to run to $491. Again, I don't know how long it's going to take. You can use relative lows from relative highs from before, which is probably right here, right? So it broke to the upside. It took it broke here the first week, so it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe it took like a month and a half to more than likely reach that next 1.618 fib level, which would be somewhere around here. And I can only assume that it's gonna be the same thing for United Health Group, for UNH. Because he actually close to the upside. The weekly is bullish. The monthly we're still looking at. It's starting to create more bull momentum on the monthly, and the daily is also it's sort of weakening a little bit on the bull side. But right now I'm just looking at the weekly because we had a full close above relative highs. So I'd say in about 2 months I can easily see a 491 UNH unless the market decides to crash for whatever reason. But is Instacart on the stock market? I'd invest in that 100%. Yeah, I would probably invest. I'd probably invest in Instacart just because I use it. I mean, I use it personally. I think it's great. I think Instacart is a great company and it solves so much time, man. I think Instacart's going to be huge, just for the use case, honestly. Um, but yeah, it's not. It's not. As far as I know, I don't think it's live. I don't think it's trading live. Um, but what I do, what is it called? Um, I do think that Instacart is looking to IPO sometime soon. I don't know when, but I know that I have heard rumors that Instacart wants to IPO. Drug bust right outside your window. Yeah, I'm gonna go look right now. Actually, I'm gonna go see what's going on because I had no idea that there were like cops outside. I was like, what the hell's going on? Um, yeah, dude, Instacart is amazing. Me and my wife started using it last year. Last year when the pandemic really like barely hit. Um, when the pandemic barely hit on I think it hit in March. My wife and I started using it probably a month or two later, and we just haven't stopped. Like it just saves so much time. Like we don't have to drive to the grocery store. We don't have to spend an hour to buy our food. We don't have to drive back. So not only are we saving time, we're saving gas money to and from. We're saving the full amount of like the groceries. We're saving the time that we waste driving to and from and at the grocery store. It's just it just works, man. I think it's amazing. Like we don't have to spend 20, 30 minutes driving to the grocery store, spending the money, wasting the gas, spending the time at the grocery store, and then spending on things that we potentially don't need. Like we think Instacart, we use Instacart every week now. I don't think we're gonna go back to grocery shopping unless we actually like need something specific. But yeah, Instacart is amazing. If they ever IPO, I'm probably gonna buy a lot of Instacart. I started right before, only used it a couple times, but the time saving and kids not asking for everything they see, the impulse purchases are the worst part. Um, I would always, whenever we go to the store, I would always buy chips, like a lot of chips, right? I'm a big like chip person for whatever reason. Hot Cheetos, Pringles, anything, right? And I would buy just a bunch of chips or just anything that I see. I'm a very big sucker for advertisement. So if I see something like in front of my face, I'll buy it, right? Which is not good, but I'm a very big sucker for advertisement, and it just benefits us, man. We don't have to, like I said, we don't have to waste our time or waste gas money. It's just super good. The monthly fee is covered in the trip of like two or impulse purchase for. Yeah. We actually paid for the full thing already. I think we paid the full. It was like $100 or whatever. And when we actually got it, I think they had like a reimbursement of $50 if you do like a first purchase or whatever. Um, so it actually only cost us like $50 because we actually bought the full year for $100. Instacart gave us $50 to spend, and we spend that on our first order. So we really only paid $50 for our year, and it's actually already paid off because every single time that they have a coupon or something, they give you like $20, $30 to spend here. We really only use it on like Walmart or Tesla or other Tesla, Walmart or Target or like maybe Super King. I don't know if you guys know what Super King is, but what is it called? Yeah, like it's crazy. Like I love Instacart. I think Instacart is great, and yeah, hot Cheetos are actually my wife's favorite chips. She's crazy about hot Cheetos, man. I prefer hot Cheeto chips. I mean hot Cheeto fries. Hot Cheeto fries are my personal favorite chip. I love hot Cheeto fries and the spicy Pringles. But the one chip that I actually started really liking a lot is veggie chips. They're like veggie fries, but they have they I guess they did like a collab with hot Cheetos, and they're using their hot spicy thing. Um, they're using their hot spicy thing on the veggie straws, and I think they're great. They're super good. But yeah, Instacart is amazing. I love Instacart. Whenever they IPO, I'm gonna be throwing at least a couple grand at them because long term, I think they're a phenomenal company. I think they're great. They're super good. Um, you can do grocery item flips, selling them on eBay, and maybe I haven't looked at it, but um, you might be able to. I actually stopped using DoorDash because it's so expensive. I hate DoorDash. I think DoorDash and all those other ones like Uber Eats or whatever. If you guys haven't noticed this, go to DoorDash, go to Uber Eats or whatever. Every single item is marked up by like a dollar or two, and they sucker you out of so much money. You can try and buy like like a $4, like a $3, $4 coffee from Starbucks, and that ends up being $20. Like hell no, dude. I'm not gonna waste an extra $10 for no reason, right? Like I think Instacart is perfection, right? I think they're great. They solve a problem. They save me and my wife a lot of time, especially with our daughter taking her back and forth. It just save a lot of time, man. It's great. The black bag of hot Cheetos had me calling off of work. The black bag, that's like the super flaming hot ones, right? Yeah, those are really good, man. I love hot Cheetos, but my wife is like she's crazy about hot Cheetos, man. She loves hot Cheetos. 10 cent. That's like a 10 cent. I kind of I talked a little bit too much on fries and Instacart, but yeah, no, I think Instacart's great. My wife and I use it religiously, really for anything. Um, yeah, I love Instacart, man. I think it saves a lot of time. I think it helps everybody out. I think it's fantastic, man. I think it's super great. 10 cents. Is this a gaming company? Tencent is a gaming company, right? I think. Oh, but you know what? Tencent is a Chinese company. That's why it's crashing. That's why Tencent is crashing. It's a Chinese company. All Chinese stocks are crashing right now. Yeah, I would not. I mean, I would not buy anything Chinese on. I would not buy anything Chinese on what's it called? Man, what is it with cops? What the heck? I love Takis. I actually have one of the tiny bags of Takis at home. We have like the 24 pack or the 24 bag, the little tiny ones. We actually have it in our closet, like our what is it called? Our pantry, whatever. Um, we have a big bag of like a 24 pack of Takis, man. I love Takis. I think Takis are great, honestly. See, Tencent. Let's go back to Tencent, right? I wanted to focus on Tencent a little bit. I think Tencent is great, but I would not be buying Chinese companies right now. I would not be buying Alibaba. I would not be buying Neo. I would not be buying Tencent. I would not be buying what is it, Xpeng. Um, I'm surprised that Costco hasn't hurt because not a big, but they actually just started their Chinese portion or their Chinese. I guess that wouldn't really affect their stock price, but um, any Chinese related stock I would stay away from until generally you have better news. It is hitting the 200 MA, so it might bounce up to the upside. But oh wow, that was a big cry from my daughter. Um, yeah, it doesn't look good, man. You still have a lot of room to go down on the stochastic. Like momentum is low, right? Do we have divergence actually? Let me see if we have any divergence here. Can I not click on anything? Dude, what the hell? Dude, why am I not able to click on anything? I can't even change my indicators. What the heck? What is this? This is weird. Super weird. Well, I guess whatever. I guess I don't need it too much, but yeah. TCH. I guess it was 10 cent. TCEHY. There we go. Yeah. Man, I wouldn't be buying Tencent honestly. It's just there's too many things going against Chinese stocks right now. Um, Divergence. Do we have divergence? I wouldn't say you have divergence either. Um, yeah, I mean, there apart from the gaps, like right here, 58, and then you have another gap at like 65, 63. I don't really need to do too much TA on this to let you guys know that I think it's, for the most part, I think it's pretty, I think it's pretty, it's not good. You had that drop on the trend, perfect retrace to the upside of trend, and then bam, just a nice hard sell off right there. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to stick on this too much, but yeah, it does look like it's gonna keep going down. I mean, you're in a consistent uprise on bear months, ever since March. Yeah, I would not be trading. Yeah, I would not be trading any Chinese stocks right now. Let me see. What does the month look like as far as trend? So you have a nice little setup there. Another possible trend setup there. I'd probably set it up like right here. Yeah, I mean it just looks like it has a lot of room to fall. That's that. I guess that's the easiest way to explain it. I think it just has a lot of room to fall. I think it breaks the 50, might come down here, probably keep running down, jump up, retest, come back down to previous trend. If it doesn't do that, um, I think it'll recover and hit the 50 MA. So it'll come down here, it'll probably run and then touch here, maybe trade sideways. Because this 50 MA is gonna probably hit around this level right here, uh, enough to actually come back so you can retest it. But yeah, just looking at Tencent, it does not look good. Anything Chinese does not look good. It sucks right now, honestly, for all Chinese stocks. Yeah, even Neo. I mean, Neo's been really trading sideways since what, November of last year. Yeah, just stay. I mean, I I highly recommend everybody just kind of stay away from what is it called, from Chinese stocks. Let's see, my scripts built in. Well, I don't need to look at the RSI, whatever. But yeah, just Chinese stocks in general. I don't think it's a. There's plenty of other stocks or plays that you guys can look at. Um, you know, yeah, just get away from it. You guys don't need to get into the Chinese stocks right now. It doesn't make too much sense, honestly. Let's look at Cardano. Sorry about that. I got a little stuck on the other one. Would you short all China stocks to make it easy money? I wouldn't short it because I don't know. I don't know exactly how Chinese stocks are gonna react. I wouldn't short Chinese stocks right now. I would have definitely shorted like a month ago. um, yeah, I wouldn't short it right now because I think there's too much risk on the downside for it to recover a little bit if it gets too low. Because then you're gonna have a lot of buying pressure at certain price points for Neo, Alibaba, or whatever. Um, I need a little bit of water. Been talking for too long. Yeah, just Chinese stocks just don't look good just because the economy is not really like what happened first. I think it was Alibaba that China wanted to delist it from. I don't know. There's a bunch of crap going on. I don't know the exact news, but I know Chinese stocks aren't really doing all that well, and I don't think that they're gonna recover. And I think it's just gonna keep getting worse. So I'd rather focus my my time on other stocks that would be worth it as opposed to trying to catch a falling knife on any Chinese stock, which would be like Neo, um, Xpeng, that coffee one that tanked. Just any really Chinese stock right now. I'd wait for for it to settle for a little bit, for a couple of weeks. Wait till it starts trading sideways for at least a couple of weeks, and then go back to it. But right now, I still think there's a lot more that it can drop to the downside. Sorry about that. Let's look at Cardano. I mean, it is basically traded sideways and then ran up, and it hit what, that 265, pretty much near there. We can get rid of these because this already hit. Cardano. Super excited for Cardano. I'm just waiting for the actual smart contracts to get released. I know that they're already working on them and the news already got released, and I know there's already some smart contracts on their platform, but I want actual, like the actual Cardano, developers to release smart contracts. Um, 4 hour. I mean, the 4 hour looks bearish. For right now, it looks bearish. Did we turn bullish? Bullish, trading sideways. That's not good. What does the daily look like? Daily, we're still bullish. I mean, I don't think it's gonna go down anymore. I think for the most part, you might see Cardano come back and retest what, 249, and then run up to the upside. I mean, I don't really have too much to say about Cardano. I don't think it's gonna come back to like 230, 240. The daily's already bullish. The weekly's bullish. The weekly's really bullish. And the monthly, obviously, I can only assume that it's bullish just because it hasn't been trading that long on Coinbase. But yeah, I mean, if I had to take another guess, I'd say it comes back down to 249, 250 to retest that support and then kind of pump up to the upside. Do we have any more? Where do I have my everything set up? I mean, I can sort of maybe set up something on the daily for support and resistance. Current candle. You might even have support at like 252, like right there. That's the only other support that I can see on the daily. So, I think Cardano has a strong chance of either coming back to 252, possibly just kind of trading in this price range, or coming back to, 249, unless you have a really massive dump, in which case, obviously you can come back to like 233, and then the next big dump to the downside would be like down here to like 182, which would suck. But I think for the most part, you're going to see the 50 MA keep running up like this. What is it, like that? You'll probably see like, is it not working? What is this? Oh, I got to hold it. So you'll probably see the 50 MA do something like that. I mean, worst case scenario is it comes all the way back down and touches that 50 MA. So let's say it breaks all this structure and then it comes back and like hits something like right here. and then it runs to the upside. That would be like a really bear case right here. That would be like super bear case. I think for the most part, it's going to run down to like, 250 to retest support and then go to the upside because everything looks bearish. Monthly's bearish, weekly's bearish, daily just turned bearish. And on average, on the daily, you have a couple of days, at least 2 days of running to the upside before Cardano consolidates. So you're barely going to be on day one. And you had this big, massive candle here. So I think for the most part, we can expect a nice push to the upside. I think so. I think it's going to see another push, right? If I had to guess where, almost like exactly where, I'd say something like maybe the next push is going to be $2.80, somewhere around this range. But I think we are headed to $3. I think we are going to be touching $3 in this Cardano run. I think $3 is going to be able to be hit. That's what I think. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying that it's very possible. But yeah, 20 times leverage trading ADA a little bit. Oh crap. Yeah, don't use leverage. I never recommend trading on margin or trading on leverage. If you're in ADA, I would strongly recommend you start taking profit now. Yeah, just be careful, man, because you can lose that super fast. I like I said, I never recommend trading on leverage, trading on margin. It's super risky, and it can take you to zero extremely fast on unforeseen plays. Um, but yeah, I mean that's great. That's so far right now. ADA's running in your leverage like that. I would have 100% loved to be leveraged, but again, I never know for sure where something's going. Um, what is it called? But yeah, that's basically it. Just be careful, is all. Just be careful. Um, biggest Japanese exchange listing Cardano on the 25th, I believe. Isn't that Coinbase? Um, isn't Coinbase the one listing on Cardano in Japan? I thought it was Coinbase, right? Or is there another exchange listing it on the 25th? You mean bullish? You keep saying bearish. Do I say bearish or who says bullish? Sorry, I tend to mistake the two if you're talking to me. Sometimes I just talk and I don't even watch what I say too much. DD took people's money and ran. That's when I knew Chinese stocks were going to fall hard. Yeah. Just Chinese stocks in general, apart from Neo. I think Neo is an okay company, but I don't really trust China stocks all that much. I think it's too risky. You can definitely put that money in something like a Microsoft or Apple, something similar to that, and you would make your money, in like a year or two. You'd make like a pretty good amount of money. But yeah, I don't like Chinese stocks. I think there's too much risk in there, and there's definitely way better. There's a lot better things where your money can go. Um, I know there's no floor, but I just want to hear his opinion on how high GME can go. How high do you expect GameStop to go when Moas hits? Not financial advice. Just want to hear a target price, even if you don't know. Make a guess. I don't think GameStop can hit 1 million, right? And that's just me. I don't know. It's super hard to determine price, and I gotta be honest. Everybody that's telling you that GameStop can hit 1 million or 10,000 or whatever, um, it's not. It just doesn't seem like nobody knows how to even set these forecasts. People will say like, oh yeah, GameStop is going to 1 million. How? Like, why do you think GameStop is going to 1 million? Why do you think, you know, if GameStop goes to 1 million, I'm gonna make $100 million off of GameStop because I'm holding 100 shares. I really doubt that's gonna happen. I'll tell you right now. There's There's a very small chance that a bunch of like poor people are gonna get rich off of GameStop. I'm telling you that right now. Like for the chances of that happening is slim, and I'm counting myself in that with you guys, right? Like we're obviously trading to have more money, right? And there's never been an instance on earth apart from Bitcoin where you have a bunch of just random people like me and you make millions of dollars randomly, right? From this one thing happening. I don't see retail banking out with that much money and the government actually paying out or whoever needs to pay out actually paying out without them getting some sort of, what is it called? like some sort of not buyout, but just help or something. I don't know. It seems very unlikely that that's gonna happen. Um, so that's one part, right? But the second part of an actual GameStop price, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if GameStop hits like a $10,000 price. Like that would not surprise me. Would it go higher than that? Absolutely no clue. And I would not be the person to ask about what I think GameStop can go to because it's all up in the air, And people are talking about GameStop like 100% is gonna short squeeze, like the mother of all short squeezes. Everybody's saying, oh yeah, it's gonna short squeeze 100%. That makes me think that it's not going to short squeeze, right? It's because all of retail is saying that, and you have half of Reddit talking about GameStop and how they're all gonna be millionaires as soon as the MOAS happens, right? So I don't think there's gonna be a huge price of like $1 million. If I had to take a wild guess, I'd say it can hit $10,000, and that's strictly basing it off of market cap, so that it doesn't sound too crazy or whatever. But at the end of the day, I have no idea. I'm not the person to ask. You're looking for probably like DFB to actually go into detail and tell you what it can actually reach. Um, talking about Super Stonk. Yeah, Super Stonk, Reddit, Wall Street Bets. It's one of those things where I'm not saying that what is it called? Nancy Pelosi just bought up 1 million shares on the video, $1 million shares about to break. Yeah, it is. Anything that Nancy Pelosi buys, I guarantee you it's gonna go up. She she knows things that we're never gonna know. She does she blatantly does insider trading. Pfizer's gonna keep running up. I know Pfizer kept running up. I should have gotten into Pfizer. It was a perfect breakout strategy, and it worked. I already know that it hit. I already know that Pfizer hit. Where is it? PFE. I forgot. Somebody was in Pfizer, right? I think somebody from the chat was in Pfizer. I should already have it set up. Pfizer. Yeah, I already had it set. Yeah, I think it broke out on the weekly. Do I have? I forgot where we set it up, but yeah, I saw that Pfizer was basically just running up, and I was like, yeah, Pfizer is gonna keep running towards the upside. But yeah, GameStop, like I said, no idea, man. No idea what Pfizer's gonna do, honestly. This will be my last TA. I'm gonna do the Roku for random videos, just because I've known random videos for a little bit, and I want to do this TA for them. Holy crap! Talk about a double top right here. See, look at that. Look at that. Clear break to the upside on Roku and then complete dump. So the breakout strategy would have been a complete loss on this. Got 30 calls plus on Pfizer last week with the approval. Nice, dude. Yeah, Pfizer's running. Pfizer's going to keep running hard. This actually kind of looks like a bearish bat. I think Roku's going to run to the upside, honestly. This looks like a bearish bat. Like a bearish bat pattern. Bearish bat looks like this. That's what a bearish bat looks like. Or you can kind of do this. Bearish bat like that, kind of. That's kind of what a bearish bat looks like. Either like this or kind of like that. Bearish bat. It looks like it's monthly is bearish. Why is it dropping? Why is Roku dropping? That's weird that it's dropping like that. Is there divergence? I mean, it's hitting the 50 MA. What does the day look like? The day looks strong, but it's just been trading down, which is bad. Oof. It does not look good. Roku does not look good. Let me see. Where can it actually head to, though? Support resistance, we'll do right there. Right here. Is there more support right here? Yeah, it's actually right on support. We'll stick with this for now. On the weekly, it looks like, where's the daily? Daily is bullish. Trading sideways down. Yeah, it doesn't look good. I think Roku's headed down to 327. I think that's what's probably gonna happen. Because look how bullish it. Look, it's been trying to break bullish since August 4th, and it's just been trading down. Yeah, this I would 100% be buying puts here. I think it's gonna go down, possibly break, run up here, and then probably go down, something like that. That's probably what Roku's gonna do. I mean, yeah, you already have the on the day. What does it look like? Yeah, it's you have too much bullish momentum where it does nothing. It's just a straight shot down. There's no reason for me to think that Roku's gonna keep running to the upside because it's. I mean, I like Roku, but for the most part, it's being consistently on the downside. Look at that. Yeah, I would not be surprised if it does something like this. And keeps trailing down. I think it's gonna follow trend. I think it's gonna keep going to the downside. It sucks, but yeah, I think Roku's gonna go down. 294. I mean, I can see it at 327. After 327, just because I would consider Roku like a tech stock ish, I would probably go back to that support of 327 and redo the TA to see if there's anything different that looks like. But I think 327 has a really solid chance of hitting. J&J played out great. Again, thank you for showing us the breakout strategy. Oh yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I cashed that on J&J. I cashed that on J&J like that same week. It was super good on J&J. Okay, one more TA and then I'm out because I gotta go hang out. I'm gonna go hang out with my daughter and my wife. I know they're in the kitchen just kind of doing their own thing right now, and I kind of miss them a little bit. Walmart, did it break highs? Walmart, it still hasn't broken highs. What does the daily look like? Daily looks like it's gonna keep running. Monthly looks bullet. Yeah, I'd say Walmart is going to be consistently going up to the upside. I would not be. I mean, I would buy Walmart here. And go lower. Lower. Yeah, I can go lower right there. Let's see. Set price right there. Set it right here probably. Set it like right there. Yeah, I don't need too much support and resistance on Walmart. I think for the most part, it's gonna stay. What the heck? Whoops. Yeah, I think Walmart is gonna stay on that. It's gonna stay on that. Let's see. We'll set it up like right there. I think it might have major support at like 152 if it tries to break that. But I think Walmart looks like it's going to go up. I mean, all momentum looks like it's going to keep running towards the upside. I would not be surprised if we see Walmart, running up to like, let's see, what can it run it up? What can it run up to? Something like this, probably. To like 159, maybe. Walmart moves slow though. I'll tell you guys that right now. Walmart moves really, really slow. You're not gonna get super major breakouts from Walmart like this all that often. Walmart likes moving really, really, really slow. Yeah, I'd say up. I'd say general direction is just up. I mean, we closed a weak bullish candle on the reverse MACD, but I wouldn't worry about that too much. Generally, it'll just kind of maybe it'll just trade sideways here and then run up. But I think Walmart's gonna keep going up. I think Walmart's a solid company. They're gonna keep making money. There's no reason for Walmart to not keep going up. I think Walmart's going to do great. With that being said, okay. Thank you guys so much for coming to my live. Appreciate everybody that came in with the super chats. Super thank you to everybody that came on. I know that thank you for taking like an hour of your time to just kind of come on here and chat. I hope that the TA helped. I hope that all of you guys that saw the support and resistance, how I build my support and resistance, I hope that helped you out. If you're looking at the Fibonacci's and how to use them, come back to this video and just replay it over and just until it kind of sticks in your head. But just do it yourself, right? Learn it and then start applying it because that's the fastest way that you're going to learn it. If you guys are still on, please give me a like. It definitely helps out the channel like crazy. I know I'm supposed to start saying that a lot because it's like a thing that I'm supposed to say so it can help out the channel grow and stuff, man. But thank you guys all for coming in. If you guys can give the video a like, that would really, really, really help out the channel. So hopefully you guys can like it, share it, all that good stuff. You're a god, Alfonso. I'm not, but I like to think that I'm okay at what I do, right? So I like to just kind of like I like to think that I'm sort of okay. So hopefully it's a um, hopefully it helps you guys out. You guys have the breakout strategy for me. You guys have support and resistance. You guys have all that stuff, right? So hopefully it helps you guys out somehow. But thank you all for coming on the live. Super appreciate it. Have a great weekend. And again, if you guys are still on, take a couple of seconds, look at your phone wherever you're watching this, and just either use your index finger and click on the thumbs up, or use your mouse and click on the thumbs up. Maybe share the video if you think it has some good information. But thank you to everybody for showing up. Thank you to everybody for the super chats. And it's all good, Alfonso. Man. You're good, bro. Everybody here, we're all family, man. We're all trying to just keep doing what we do, right? Keep doing what we do. That's it. All we're trying to do is just kind of we're all just trying to make money, man. We're all trying to make a better life for each other, whether it's myself or whether it's you guys. We're all just trying to get better. That's it. That's really it. At the end of the day, we're all just trying to be financially stable or secure, and whether you want to buy a house or a car, or just have money in the bank or help people out, whatever, right? We're all trying to do the same thing. We're not here to bash on anybody. We're just here to like help each other out, and try to make some money on the way, right, and educate yourself. Definitely learn, definitely watch the videos, educate yourself. I always believe in self-education. It's definitely the highest uh, the highest rate of return that you're going to get on anything, man, anything. So definitely keep teaching yourself anything that you want, especially trading. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on the live. Super appreciate it. Hit that like button, and I will see you guys next week. Hopefully again on Saturday or on Sunday. I will try to go back live again twice, and we'll just kind of see. We'll see what happens next weekend, man. But I'll keep you guys updated on everything. My wife is actually so just a sneak peek. My wife is actually working on those NFTs. I talked to her about it today. Yeah, thumbs up go a long way on this platform. So if you guys have like a second of your time to just thumbs up the video, that'd be great. But a sneak peek is, I talked to my wife about the NFTs that I want to build out. She's probably gonna design them. If you guys have any ideas of what style or whatever you guys would want to see, definitely let me know. I will definitely be giving you guys the very first chance to kind of get these NFTs. Maybe sometime in the future there was something, I don't know how. It's really just a case study to see what happens, right? It's interesting. And after finding out that I bought NFTs like 2 years ago, I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me try it out. But um, again, thank you guys for coming along. Thank you everybody for the support and for the help and for everything. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on my next video and next week for the next live. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye bye.